Grand rising to all my gods and goddesses, my queens and my kings. I'm not going to address anything lower than that because I'm trying to implement higher vibrations up in here. Thank you for tuning into my channel, and I hope you like the video that's coming. It has been a minute since I've decided to record, and I have to say that the time that I took off in order to come back on and make a new video, I just been going through some things, and I came to some realizations, and I want to get into some of those things. So stay tuned. So one of the things that kind of just tripped me up from making my videos was I thought that I was on this path of enlightenment, and I didn't know that the path was so long. I thought it was boom, your eyes is open, your chakras is aligned, you have a clear understanding about what's going on. And I thought that, I was on the way of being there. I was expecting to just have like, oh, type of moments, like just sitting there. I thought that my meditation was going to be higher. I thought that I was going to astral travel just at any given time. It was a lot of things I was thinking. But as I told you guys before, I shared with you that I do therapy. I have a regular therapist that I talk to every week. And during this particular conversation, I was doing most of the talking with my therapist, asking me, small questions here and there, but it invoked the train of thought that led me to realize that the pattern of the relationship that I had between me and my oldest daughter was one that I recognized all too well, and I did not see what I was inflicting on her and exactly what she was going through. And I broke down crying. Like, I broke down so much because I felt like, why didn't I see this before? The way I felt, the things that I felt contributed to my childhood darknesses, I guess you can say. She was going through it in a different way, but it was the same concept. And I was hating myself so much. I was really hating myself. And then on a more personal note, I could be real. I don't care. I have no shame in my lifestyle, my life. I don't feel like I'm in a position at this point in my life that I want to be like, oh, but I don't want people to know what I'm doing. I really don't care. It's my life. It's my life to live. Not nobody else's. So with that being said, another thing that has set me back was I am on a path of celibacy. I started my journey months ago because I felt like I needed a clearer understanding with myself. And everybody doesn't have the same reactions when it comes to sex. But for me, I never connected with it. I guess you could say, even when I lost my virginity, I was like 16. I'm bearing it all, y'all, but I was like 16, and I lost my virginity. And I spoke to my mom about it, and I said, I don't understand what the hype is about, because I've experienced it and it was nothing that was enjoyable. I said, am I doing something wrong? And that's when she broke down to me that, sexual interactions, especially for females, is, well, for some, is more mentally connective than physical, if you know what I mean. And that was 100% true for me, always been. I have to mentally and emotionally connect with the person. It doesn't matter the physicality. If I cannot connect with you on a mental or emotional level, it's just it's not gonna work for me. So anyway, I'm on this path, and I had a weak moment with my husband. Had a weak moment. But because it was my journey and not his, he didn't have a choice in the matter. I feel like it's my body, my choice. I don't care if I'm married or not. And it didn't go far. But what did happen, I just hated myself. You know, I hated myself. I said I had a weak moment. I thought I was stronger than this, so on and so forth. It just was not, I wasn't meshing with that moment at all. So that was another thing. And then remember, I had told you guys I was dealing with a little issue with my youngest son, and his emotional ups and downs and stuff like that. I didn't know if it was like just a phase, a growing up thing. I didn't know if it was something going on from his personal life, meaning his home life. A lot of changes have happened within my family dynamic that can alter the perception of a little kid's reality. So I thought maybe that was going on with him. I didn't know what was going on, to be honest. All I know is that I got tired of the talking back and things like that. And I told you guys that I was going to, work something out with me and his dad, which we did. And I noticed that his behavior did change during the time period that we implemented, a different kind of structure and discipline to kind of correlate with what my son was going through. But right after that, and my husband, left and he went back home, my son was right back at his antics with the attitude and the talking back and not wanting to be reasonable and things like that. And I was like, I just want to pull my hair out. But update, he did calm down from that. He did. What I've been doing differently is listening more. You got to learn to listen. As I mentioned before in a different video, communication is key. It doesn't matter at what age. It doesn't matter with what relationship group. If you have proper communication, then you can prevent a lot of the mishaps from happening. You can have healthier relationships. So with my son, I had to learn to listen to what he was saying, because as a parent, you tend to get frustrated and you don't want to listen to what your child has to say because you feel like they're not listening to you. But once I started listening to him and I gave him that respect, and then I pointed it out to him that, hey, I'm giving you this respect. I'm listening to you. Now, as your mother, you need to give me that respect as well, because I'm not going to keep listening to you if you're not listening to me. And being the little intellectual boy that he is, he learned to listen. I appreciated that. So we would have conversations about his behavior, about responsibility, about how it feels to me to be on the receiving end of his attitude, and how, try to role play and say, well, how would you feel if I did that to you? So for the most part, he felt like that's what he was getting. So I had to change a lot of the things so that, he doesn't feel like there's an injustice, because his perceptive lens was saying to him, it seemed like that, everybody was getting treated better than he was, and he was getting the short end of the stick. So I had to put into a different field, viewing field, perception, that's not true. And you can tend to think things or hear things or see things that you want when you're in your feelings. So I had to teach him how to understand his feelings, come up out of that. Proper breathing exercises help a lot. I've been trying to implement that into my kids' life, especially when they get upset and they try to throw temper tantrums or they just break down for no reason. I just try to get into their mind so that they can unlock whatever to get inside of here, because without getting inside of here, it's really hard to function. Your emotions run rampant, and that's just not how you're supposed to be, right? So I did that. Another thing is that kind of been keeping me from making another video is I just been working on self. I've been working on self. I've been working on my children. First and foremost, I always try to pour my energy that I get within me. I try to give it to my children, especially if it's positive energy. But I try to give it to them. So I implemented affirmations every day. We've been doing it for about 2 months, but every day I take them to school, I implement affirmations. Today, well, for the past, I want to say 2 weeks, I implement affirmations plus a message, right? So today's message was reflection. And the reason why I chose reflection is because my children, they tend to always go back to a previous point in time, like 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, to validate their right now. And I'm like, okay, that cannot happen. I said, what you need to do is reflect every day. I like to do it at night before I go to bed so I can lay down peaceful. But what you do is you rewind the tape and you go back and you reflect on the things that you can change, you couldn't change, things you like, you didn't like, the negative and the positive, things like that. And you see where you can implement change so that moving forward, you can create better situations for yourself, right? Or you can accept the things that you couldn't change. So my son is 7, my daughter just turned 9. These are not concepts that cannot be comprehended from the earliest ages of like 2. When you start molding your children, you could do it from birth, you could do it while they're still in utero, you could do it that way. And I realized I'm kind of late at that. So, I was teaching them other things, that's kind of got them in an advanced standpoint when it comes to other children their age. But at the same time, I really want them to be spiritually ready. So I just been dealing with that. I've been dealing with family. I've been dealing with myself. I went through a period of time where I did not like myself. And, I just was feeling like a hypocrite. When people start to get in your ears and your thoughts start to turn and you start to see things, you just start to think things, and that's negative thinking. So I had to get out of that routine by thinking about the positive things, what actually is working for me, and the actual truth, not just what I want to believe and not just what other people got me believing, whether they indirectly or directly said this to me, right? So that's where I've been at, but I am back. And I'm about to continue 2 of the videos that I said I was going to continue, which is the role of the man and the woman in the community and how they interact with one another. So I did get some feedback on that, so I'm going to touch up on that. I've been wanting to get back to that video for a month now. I really have. The other video is going to be about family and children and how we need to get together. Community, y'all. It's all about community. So I'm definitely going to talk about that. I think I'm just going to merge the two because I was going to make it a series, but that's not really where my heart is at. I am not an activist. I am not a community activist. What I am is I consider myself to be a light worker, if you can say. I am honing in on my abilities, so I'm really trying to focus on inner self, and through me working on inner self, then I can help other people, even when it comes to family and community. So I'm not going to just branch off and just do a whole thing about family and community. That's just not where my heart lies. I am compassionate about it. I am also passionate about the topic because I feel like our Black and brown communities need to get it together. More so, people of my particular color, culture, what are we considered? Aboriginal people, the original American Indians. Some say we're Commission. I don't know. Like I said, I really don't know exactly where my complete heritage extended from, right? But instead of trying to find out from the back, like where the roots is at, I'm trying to work with what I got to grow forward. And inside of me is telling me I am higher and better than what the label of the United States is trying to tell me that I am. Trust, that is a fact. Yes, I'm very confident on that. I am not this African American, and I'm gonna get into that because there's a term, the African American, what that truly means in America. I'm gonna get in on that because I don't like it. I found my community, y'all. Some people call it the conscious community. I call it my spiritual brothers and sisters, my fellow gods and goddesses, my fellow sun children. this is what I call it. I can't put labels because people's gonna have I forgot to put my phone on airplane mode, so it's gonna be a lot of vibrations. But people have their own opinions, right? And that's what it's all about. It's about having your opinions, and through the communication lines, you get all your facts from different people's aspects, right? Because everybody's not wrong, but don't mean everybody's right. So you go towards what you resonate with, and I resonate with a lot of people. Sometimes I won't agree with that, but that's family, right? You're not going to agree every time with your family members. Y'all going to have different points of view, but at the end of the day, if you really think about it, all points to the same thing, right? All points to the same thing. So I'm going to get in on that as well. You know, quite a few videos. You might see me wearing this outfit because I'm about to just go in as I'm sitting here waiting for my kids to get out of school. I'm really going to try and focus and make these videos shorter because I noticed that a lot of people don't have the patience to sit through an hour-long video unless it's like really, I want to say entertaining, meaning all the theatricals, the jumping up and down, the yelling. I am not that type of person. I can get passionate about certain things, but I am not the rah-rah person. I'm very cool, calm, and collective. I'm a Capricorn. I only get rah-rah when you make me mad. I only get rah-rah when you make me mad. So, I missed you guys. I hope you missed me too. And look forward to you guys weighing in on my videos. I really wish that you guys comment more because the communication needs to happen so that the dialogue can be developed. Otherwise, it's just going to be me on here talking about my thoughts. But I do hope you enjoy this content and stay tuned for some more videos.